everything we know about Sony's Kraven the Hunter movie. Kraven the Hunter, set in Sony's Spider-Man universe, SAU, has been in development for several years, even before the debut of Tom Holland as Spider-Man in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. After years of delays, filming for the Sony movie finally commenced in 2022 in Europe. Kraven the Hunter will be the next in Sony's live-action slate of upcoming Marvel movies centered on the origin stories of Spider-Man villains, which include the Venom trilogy, starring Tom Hardy in the titular role, Morbius, starring Jared Leto as the living vampire, and Dakota Johnson's Madame Web. After the release of Morbius brought the second of Spider-Man's villains to the big screen, Sony was eager to get the ball rolling on Kraven the Hunter. While Sergei Kravinoff is one of Spider-Man's deadliest foes, he's also one of the most unique. Something already reflected in Kraven the Hunter's announced cast of characters. As such, the impressive Hunter is the perfect choice to receive a live-action adaptation in theaters. And though many details of Kraven's jump to the big screen are being kept tightly under wraps, new footage and story details reveal more about Aaron Taylor Johnson's upcoming SSU project. The latest Kraven the Hunter news. At the 2024 Comic-Con experience, Sony debuted even more exclusive footage of Kraven the Hunter, just a week before the film is set to be released. Most notable of the footage unveiled is the interactions between Kraven and his father, Nikolai Kravinoff, played by Russell Crowe. It also features a handful of scenes with Nikolai's other son, Dmitry Smerdyakov, known as the Chameleon. Since 2023, there have been a number of Kraven the Hunter trailers released as the movie kept getting delayed, finally landing on a December 13, 2024 release date. On December 2, 2024, Sony released an exclusive look at the opening 8 minutes of the film, another marketing push to help generate some excitement for what might be the last film in Sony's Spider-Man universe. Much like what has been promised since it was confirmed to be R-rated, the opening sequence in Kraven the Hunter is a bloody, action-packed time. It takes full advantage of the fewer restrictions that have been placed on it, compared to other Sony Spider-Man universe movies, like the Venom trilogy that many fans believe should have been R-rated as well. Kraven the Hunter release date. Though it faced several delays and was rescheduled, Kraven the Hunter is slated for release on December 13, 2024, after having previously been moved a year later from October 2023 to August 2024, likely due to the SAG-AFTRA strikes. This notably places it after Venom, The Last Dance, which may help the overall franchise reset after the lackluster reception to both Morbius and Madame Web, letting the focus go onto an established and financially successful movie series before turning to set up yet another new face. No reason has officially been given for the decision to delay Kraven the Hunter to December 2024. But this move does notably come alongside other Sony schedule changes. This includes the next Karate Kid movie's own delay, which was originally set to release on December 13, 2024 itself, suggesting the anti-heroes film has taken its place on the release calendar. The overall schedule being moved around is actually promising for Kraven the Hunter, as it suggests this delay is not reflective of the movie's own quality or issues with production, but rather one part of a grander cinematic scheme. This is likely especially reassuring for audiences who have been concerned about the upcoming Marvel movie in the wake of Morbius and Madame Web, as a delay that seemed to be more based on the installment and issues surrounding it would have suggested it may be following in these predecessors' footsteps. Kraven the Hunter is directed by J.C. Chandor, who also directed Netflix's Triple Frontier, with the script coming from Art Markham, Matt Holloway, and Richard Wenk. Kraven the Hunter will be Sony's fourth villain project, following Venom, Let There Be Carnage, Morbius, Madame Web, and the upcoming Venom, The Last Dance. Kraven the Hunter cast. Aaron Taylor Johnson is no stranger to superhero roles, having played the titular hero in 2010's Kick-Ass, and appearing as the MCU's Quicksilver in Avengers: Age of Ultron. While there's still been no confirmation that Spider-Man will be making an appearance in the movie, Christopher Abbott has been cast as the Foreigner. Fred Hettinger will play Dmitry Smerdyakov, aka the Chameleon, and Ariana DeBose will assume the role of Calypso, a voodoo priestess and Kraven's love interest. After revealing new footage for Kraven the Hunter at 2023's CinemaCon, Sony confirmed that Russell Crowe was cast as Kraven's father, with the trailer since showing a glimpse at the role. Alessandro Nivola has also been cast as iconic Spider-Man villain Rhino, who was previously portrayed by Paul Giamatti in The Amazing Spider-Man 2. This version of the Rhino will have a comic-accurate costume rather than the modernized metal suit. Levi Miller of Pan, A Wrinkle in Time, and Supergirl fame will also take part in Kraven the Hunter in an undisclosed role. Kraven the Hunter story details. While the exact plot details of Kraven the Hunter are still under wraps, Sony's footage reveals that Taylor Johnson will be suiting up as the infamous Hunter and will go up against several foes. This is solidified by the Kraven the Hunter trailer, which shows a young version of the character seemingly gaining his powers and using them to brutalize his enemies. The footage released at 2024 Comic-Con Experience seems to indicate that Chameleon could play a significant role in the film as son to Nikolai Kravenov. Nikolai is also the father of Kraven, making Sony's Kraven the Hunter a family affair. Chameleon will be featured alongside Rhino as two confirmed villains to be appearing in the film. The footage also shows Kraven the Hunter taking out a number of other hunters, and reveals that Kraven will be using their boss's ledger to cross names off. It's possible that this ledger will play a significant role in the film, as it could be important for Kraven's motivations. This could hint at the overall narrative of the film, but details of the exact story are still not quite clear. Following the poor reception to the PG-13 Morbius, Sony seems to be embracing the idea of an R-rated project, and Kraven the Hunter will follow in the footsteps of films such as Deadpool and Joker, allowing the hunter to work in very violent ways, including biting the nose off of one enemy's face. Writer Richard Wenk previously revealed that Marvel Comics' Kraven's Last Hunt storyline would be the inspiration for the film. During this storyline in Marvel Comics, Kraven hunts down Spider-Man, seemingly kills him, and assumes the role of Spider-Man for himself in an effort to prove he can do it better. Speaking to the Discussing Film podcast, video no longer available, Richard Wenk stated that he'd love to see Kraven and Spider-Man come face to face, though this seems unlikely as Spider-Man 4 is in development at Marvel Studios, and Sony hasn't revealed a new actor as the web-slinger for the SSU. It's more likely that Kraven the Hunter will detail the villain's origin story, allowing Spider-Man to be featured in a sequel if it happens. Kraven the Hunter trailer. Kraven the Hunter's trailer was released June 19, 2023, and provided a better understanding of what the movie itself would be about. Based on this trailer, Kraven the Hunter appears to be an origin story for the character, who is depicted more as an anti-hero than his traditional supervillain setup. However, this may be more reflective of the fact that the trailer details Sergei's traumatic childhood and subsequent desires for revenge, as the final movie could well showcase a more morally void characterization. Crucially, the timeline of the movie has Kraven's childhood set in modern times, suggesting elements of his backstory will see drastic changes. The subsequent trailers released since have shown much of the same, with the marketing focused on the edgier, more violent aspects of the film, trying to set itself apart from the various PG-13 movies in Sony's Spider-Man universe. One particularly interesting aspect of the trailers was the confirmation that Rhino will be appearing in the movie for Kraven to go up against. Could Kraven the Hunter connect to the MCU? With new details surfacing about Kraven the Hunter, there is speculation that the film could somehow connect to the version of Spider-Man in the MCU. Tom Holland's Peter Parker has already taken part in his own trilogy there, comprising Spider-Man, Homecoming, Far From Home, and No Way Home, and has appeared in a variety of team-up films also. However, he hasn't crossed over with the SSU, at least not yet, so it's less likely that Kraven will be introduced into the MCU, and almost definite that Kraven the Hunter will be set in the same universe as Venom and Morbius. Morbius featured Easter eggs that alluded to Spider-Man villains, including Rhino, Black Cat, and Chameleon, making this link seem even more solid. However, this doesn't mean that Kraven could never cross over into the MCU, as the bond between Marvel Studios and Sony seems to be growing stronger with Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, directly referencing the events of Spider-Man: No Way Home.